Hello, my name is Wilson, and I am WakundaMa. So today I'm moved to talk more about depression, and in particular, just share an experience I had with many years ago with a failed attempted suicide of my own. This was for myself over 20 years ago, but I remember being just, what I remember about this place of depression was just, it was just so many consecutive days of just wake up in the morning or struggling to wake up in the morning and wishing I was dead. Just felt so terrible. I wish I was dead. And then within 10 minutes pulling it together and continuing on with the day. Come home, eat, go to sleep, and then the next morning, again, I wish I was dead. And then I pull it together. And I would do this day after day after day after day. And one of those days, I took a bunch of sleeping pills. And I remember there was a lot of anger around that. And what I remember about initially when I took those bunches of sleeping pills, there was a fear in that, because I think I was on the edge of, in that place of suicide, there's a lot of you that actually, it's a screaming out for help to want to live. And so with each pill, there was just this thought in my mind of like, that could be the one that's just too much. And I remember the effects of taking those pills. It was, actually surprisingly, it took a while for it to take effect. I guess initially you think it's going to have an immediate effect, but when it started setting in, it was probably like at least an hour. Suddenly what I would notice is I started to get out of sync with my emotions. Like I could turn my head one way, and it would take 2 seconds before I would feel my head turn. And if I turned my head straight, it would take another 2 seconds before I would feel it. And probably within an hour after that, I was unable to move. I was lying on bed, just motionless, and actually occasionally my body would twitch without me trying to move it. And I was fully aware. I was awake. It's funny, the sleeping pills didn't make me sleep, it made me awake, but I couldn't move my body. And it was like I was buried alive in a coffin with my body, the coffin. It's just, and I was thinking and regretting this, praying I would make it through. I was really scared. This was it. And so why I share this with you is from that experience and my journey years and years afterwards, and I've visited depression more than once and visited this dark place more than once, was what it, in the end, I can share coming through this. And I'm so grateful to have come through this and to be able to share this with you. 3 things. One was, at that place of deep depression, it's just, there's this desperation. And like I said, when you're suicidal, it's not just, I want to die. It's actually much more, I need help. Help me find a way to live. And so what I remember is, what it started teaching me was to savor life. Ironically, in this place of maybe wanting to die, it actually touches in with that place of savoring life, because you're at this point where you're stripped and you're just asking, what's the purpose of life? Like the question will come, what's the purpose of life if in the end you will just die? That strips you to the essence of like, and somebody can bring up an intellectual argument. Well, purpose of life is so that you can have a family and you can have a career. And it's like, that doesn't get down to the essence. What is the essence of life to the bare minimum? And so that depression, it was like, I guess the analogy I could think of is, think of water. We have lots of access to water, all forms of flavored water, and we often don't think very much about it. It's very available. But what if you were just placed out in the desert with no access to water for days? There's no water. And so that's like the depression. It just strips you of all the things that you take for granted. Not the physical things, but the essence of what it is to want to live. It just strips that away. And it makes you then, like in a desert, if there's no water and suddenly a fog comes by and just drips a bunch of few dewdrops of water, you're going to savor that. It's like you savor every amount of water you can get. And then when finally a cup of water comes to you, it's like, oh my God. So that's what depression is like. At least the journey for me being here is just now coming to savor things, coming into gratitude of life, of the small things in life, of the ability just to breathe here, that I'm talking to you, just gratitude. Kind of understanding, appreciating that it's actually a miracle that I'm here, a miracle that you're here, that we're alive, this living creatures, that we're alive in a vast universe, which there is mostly, or so far we haven't found anything, a form of life within this universe. So that's how precious and rare and unique it is that we're alive. So that's what one thing it had taught me. Another thing it had taught me was, and this was over the course of many, many years, is it provided me the time and space to discover how and find ways to love myself. So important. So when I say love myself, not buying things myself, but finding ways just as I am, doing nothing, just standing, how to love myself. So I will just, like for example, in some of my videos, I show you this technique. So right hand, left hand, just on my heart, the center place of love. And just saying an affirmation like, deep in my heart, I love and accept myself just as I am. Everything, I love myself. And then switch my hands. Deep in my heart, I love and accept myself just as I am. One more time. Deep in my heart, I love and accept myself just as I am. Love of self. That's what I've also come to learn, to find ways to love myself that way. So with gratitude of the small things and the love of self together, then I also learn gratitude to self, the loving part of gratitude to self for the small things I do. Like just getting out of bed. You think that's just, as an adult, no big deal. But coming to be able to slow things down and recognize that's actually a huge deal. Being able to walk, it's a huge deal. Being able to breathe, being able to drink water, have a bell, it's a huge deal. Because if those aren't huge deals, then all the other things above it, like a career, an achievement, they're empty things. They're just shells. Nothing in there. If the small things aren't huge deals, then the big things actually are kind of meaningless. So with this next dance video, I chose it because it's the song title is called Found a Way. And I'm just, I guess from this place of where I am, trying to just share my energy of I found my way. Come join me, find your way every day with these techniques of I love and accept myself just as I am. Try those techniques and come to appreciate, slow down, appreciate, have gratitude for the small things. Because you are amazing. You who are watching, you're amazing. Yes, you are. And you know why you're amazing? You are amazing because you exist. You're alive. That's huge. You're breathing. You're watching this video. You can understand the words. That is huge. Amazing. It's a miracle. You are a miracle. Yay, you. Yay, you. Celebrate you. So with that said, watch this video. Take this in. You are a divine star. My name is Wilson. And I am WakundaMa.
Some kind of magic, dizzy as a new dawn to begin.